Volume 2 Extra Chapter, Births Go Campaign. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sad07 in the middle of the journey. While still in the woods. Kohan. Kohan, Trayanar was next to me, coughing unnaturally. And he's glancing sideways at me. Oi, child, the Go board that was purchased in town earlier. You did not forget it, did you? By the way, how many times have you asked this question? I bought a portable, foldable and easy to carry Go board as a souvenir in the town of Honeyborough. Trayanar seems to be very concerned about it. No, I'm not bothered by it. It is likely he's appealing to me. I'm not so shallow in my relationship with this guy that I don't understand that. Wanna take a break, to play a game? At that moment, Trayanar's eyes sparkled as the majesty of the great demon king collapsed. I shall play you. It cannot be helped, child. I will play you. Come on, let us play it. Let us play it right away. After playing a game of Go for the first time in over a dozen years, seems he's been dying to play again. Well, for someone who couldn't interact with the world, his only form of entertainment was to see the scenery in front of him through me, read with me, chat with me, and guide me. And he's been like this since he realized that he could play Go with me. Geez, I'm the only one who can do it. He's so happy, and I can't refuse to play with him like that. I sat on the ground in the forest, opened the Go board, and lined up the pieces. In the meantime, because I line up the stones for two people, I put the Go pieces on both sides, but I made Trayanar sit face to face in order to create the atmosphere of a game. Come on, child. You may place as many pieces as you will. I shall have you enjoy the Demon King's move. Trayanar looked excited with his arms folded. It's a little annoying. I can place as many pieces as I want. In Go, if there is too much difference in ability, one is allowed to place extra pieces first as a handicap. Which means that there is that much difference in ability between Trayanar and me. However, it pissed me off when he said it so blatantly. I don't want to. I can play a little, too, right? New, is that so? Well. In that case, so, let's go. Also, the first move is mine. To be honest, I'm not terribly good at Go, but having been trained by Sodeyes for a long time, I think I'm a decent player. Of course, I can't say that I'm stronger than Shinobu from the other day, and I don't think I can beat Trayanar, but I was so frustrated that I thought I should at least play the first game with no handicap. Come on, instruct me. Well, then. Lower left, stars. Well, I was hoping that since it's Trayanar, he'd play me without a handicap and whip me into shape. I thought, but... Aura, upper right, star, lower left. Kosumi. It was only a few minutes from the start. I've only played a few moves yet. To be clear, Go is a game that uses dozens of moves to advance. Child, I cannot hear you. What was that? If you do not speak clearly, I cannot hear. Ha. A few minutes from the start, already Trayanar was grinning with a smug face after a few moves. The next moment, I was yelling. You darn idiot. You, what are you playing without mercy? Oh, good heavens, do not get so heated. Usually, you would go easy on me. No, I'm the one who said no handicap. But there's a limit. My thoughts were naive. After Shinobu, it's his first time playing in a long time, so Trayanar ruthlessly cut me down. To invite me and kill me instantly. I don't think I can win. Well, now, settle down, child. Why not continue playing this game a little longer? Ha. When I hung my head with sulky feelings, Trayanar made a remark that sounded like whipping a corpse under these circumstances. Moreover, that is. Wait a minute, continue this. What are you going to do with this play? No matter how much I can do to this point, even I can understand that winning is not possible anymore. Even if you cannot, I can. Ha. No way, how in the, let us exchange your pieces with mine. I shall accept this super. Inferior situation as a handicap. What did you say? It was such a ridiculous suggestion, but I thought I shouldn't make fun of it either. It's true that I'm overwhelmingly weaker than Trayanar, but it's impossible to reverse from such an already annihilated situation. But. Ha. Why you're looking down on me? Don't joke around, that is definitely impossible. I didn't know yet that the opponent was the omnipotent and omniscient great demon king. No matter how many hours, days, months, or years it took me, he would strike a string of unthinkable moves one after another. And a few minutes later. Never again. I'm done. I'll never play you again. Damn it. From the situation where I was cut off and surrendered, Trayanar turned it around and I was cut off again. At this point, I felt ridiculous in many ways. I shed tears. I overturned the board and slept unfaithfully on the spot. Oh, dear. Did I overdo it? Say, child, once again. Here. One more time. I will adjust it just right this time, will I not? Once more. No way. I'm going to bed. I can't play Go any more, Nua. Oh, 'tis quite cruel. 'Tis so. I shall teach you. Ha. How about it? Ha. Thus, for a while, Go had become traumatic to me. Whoa. Okay, dude needs to learn restraint. Reminds me of when I would wreck my siblings at Tekken, while holding the controller with one hand. They never played me again. And also when I played Tekken online. And got wrecked. I never tried that again. Chapter 88, Intermission, The Maid. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sat07. I can't catch up to him at full speed. As a child, when I played tag with Little Man, I would lead Little Man around by his nose, whether I was the one chasing him or the one being chased. But now, even though I chase after him with all my might, I can't catch up with that little man's back. I felt frustrated, regretful, and pathetic, but on the other hand, I think that it is unscrupulous to have such feelings under these circumstances. The power in that match was still real. Little man, without me knowing. Without realizing it while I was by your side, in a really big way. And finally getting stronger. I don't know why Little Man used the skill of the Great Demon King, and I thought that it might have been some mistake. But this is the only truth that shouldn't be twisted. Little Man really grew strong. For me, the Little Man I've always thought would never change since he was little, has become independent. Alright, everyone, today we're going to play Imperial House with me today as rehearsal for the future. I'm suddenly reminded of the old days. Princess Fiance in her childhood proposed a cute game in the palace garden. In response to the proposal, Little Man, Fu, and Rabal were embarrassed and had delicate looks on their faces. I, naturally, am the Empress. Well, of course. And Rabal is the commander of the Imperial Knights and the prime Imperial warrior. Me. Such an amazing role. Yes. And Fu is the strongest mage in the Empire. Alright, I'll do it. They were positions that these children had a lot of potential for in the future, and it was really a rehearsal exercise. They were still very small, 5-year-old child prodigies. I was 9 years old at the time, and I spent my days learning etiquette and manners from the palace maids, as well as taking Little Man to and from the palace. The scene of such a nostalgic day. And, Little Man seemed dissatisfied with the princess' proposal. As for me. Why? Why is Rabal a knight commander and a warrior prime? Isn't it me? Yeah, that's right, I forgot the role of Earth, so careless, It was a lie. The princess shows an obvious, careless state whenever she is totally lying. And the princess while looking quite shy. Oh. Okay, apologies, well, yes, let Earth play the role of emperor. Oh, my king. You must be happy. Emperor. Little man had a disgruntled face. Master Rabal was also sulking a little. Yes, the role, after all, when the lid was lifted, the emperor and empress. Then, start. Oh, your majesty, no, when we're alone, oh, would you like to have dinner? Take a bath. Oh, or, me. It had nothing to do with the emperor or empress anymore. No, somehow, Master Rabal and Master Fu were pitifully being excluded from playing house. But the one I felt most sorry for was. As expected, playing house is boring, let's play something else. No, it's an order. Earth is the emperor. That's why. Wrong, I'm going to be a hero, like Dad, so that's better. He doesn't understand her behavior, which was so easy to comprehend, or rather I don't think he's interested. The princess was the one I felt most sorry for, but. Oh, Sod Eyes, hey, Sod Eyes, let's play. Little man runs up to me, who is supposed to be able to play with him at any time of day in a sense. The princess became sullen at such a figure. No, the princess caught little man and pulled his hand. Then the princess glared at me. We're going to play by ourselves. We don't need some auntie. And I couldn't help crying out. Sod Eyes is not my aunt. No, she's an old lady, Earth. Because Sod Eyes is 9. That's almost 10 years old. Well, that's what the maid said. Oh, knew something. So, Sod Eyes is a new recruit. Not true. Sod Eyes is a FAI, fair maiden. He said so in an embarrassingly bewildered manner. Little man at that time was too damned cute, I was already. No. She's FA. Oh, hey, fiance. Stop pulling. Ancient monster Sod Eyes, go away. Bleh. The princess angrily took little man by force, and made a rude facial gesture at me. To be honest, I've known the princess since she was a baby, and for me, it wasn't without some little sisterly feelings. However, when I was still young, I was not good at controlling my desire to monopolize little man. I won't give little man to anyone. Hi. I won't let you take him anywhere. Also. Who is the ancient monster? In an instant, moved around and cut in front of the princess. The princess's face was drawn with fear. And the princess. I'll protect fiance. Rabal, it's no good, you can't beat Sod Eyes, really. Master Rabal, who was afraid of me, held a tree branch to protect her as if he were a knight. Master Fu was hiding scared in Rabal's shadow. And I. Fu, everyone gets a little spanking, except little man. I've been given permission from all your parents to do so. The declaration of punishment with pressure. Then, the young masters, who were even younger than I was at the time, shuddered and trembled. Everyone, run away from the monster Sod Eyes. We're playing tag. But, alright, I'm going to beat Sod Eyes today. Remember, I'll win someday. We can't win. Anyway, the princess shouted for everyone to run away from me. Little man is very determined to play tag. Rabal looked frustrated. Fu was being faint-hearted. They were 4 such child prodigies, but. Do you want to run away? It's okay, right? Then, I'll count from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready. Even if you're not, here I come, or to be more precise. I've already caught everyone. It began in 10 seconds, and within 5 seconds, all 4 of them were held on either sides of me and in nooses. That's too fast. Damn it. I thought I was going to escape for just 5 seconds today. This is Sod Eyes, the rising star of the new era. My father admitted it, too. That's why I said we can't win. Yes, there was such a difference in power at that time. Ha ha ha, amazing, Sod Eyes. If those 4 are like Sod Eyes, they'll realize that they still have to work hard. Ah. As I thought, maybe Sod Eyes doesn't have to wait until she's 12 years old to be admitted to the academy with special treatment by skipping grades. While smiling at us as they took a break from work, the emperor and my master, sometimes the empress and the madam, would be there. But the child Mamu protected in the former city of sorcery, Shiznobmi, was such a genius. At that time, she didn't really open up to me, but now she really is Earth's big sister. It's been 5 years since the demise of the great demon King Traenar, and above all I'm glad to see that her heartbreak is healing. As it is, I hope that she'll continue to be a sister and a familiar target for fiance, too. Well, it's not like everything's over. There's still a big mystery about that city. Even the former member of the Sixth Supremacy, Liefant, doesn't know about the matter either. And the only person who seems to know about the mystery is that Jamdiel, the one who was with Traenar when he destroyed the city. Liefant said that it's likely that Jamdiel is in hiding on the surface world, not on the demon realm, if he's right. For example, she would be lurking in the isolationist nation, Kakratail, which was uninvolved in the war with the demons. I can't carelessly get involved, seriously. Even though we defeated Traenar and thought we were making progress in our relationship with the demons little by little, I can't help but worry, and what worries me the most is, Hakuki. That's right. In addition, Traenar's influence is still deep-rooted both in the demon realm and among the demon races. There are religious groups claiming God, Traenar, will be reborn. Search for the reincarnation, God's second coming, and hunters whose eyes change at the legend of buried treasure left by the great demon King Traenar being circulated. For several years after the war, His Majesty and the Master were constantly struggling with all the hard work, but their eyes, which watched over the princess and the young masters, were still gentle, and their troubles were full of the will to work harder for the children of the coming era. That's why I've always decided from an early age that I should protect little man and raise him properly for my benevolent master and madam. Come, little man. Let's go home. Sod Eyes, it's embarrassing, so don't pick me up. No, he's still a child, so he'll be in my arms. Also, you played outside and got filthy, so I'll give you a bath and get you cleaned up. Even if he tried to budge, I will forcibly hug little man and show that he's mine. The princess was groveling and gnashing her teeth after being spanked by me. Ugh, Earth, Sod Eyes. Earth is mine, yes, eventually little man will be the princess. I knew that they would lead this empire, the world, and humanity to a better place. However, for me just a little bit longer, while holding such feelings, I've always embraced little man. Who is still a child. Myself. I thought I knew more than my master, the madam, and more than anyone else in the world. I resent my incompetence and narrow-sightedness from the bottom of my heart. Damn, I'll beat Sod Eyes someday. And become stronger than Sod Eyes. Someday. Sod Eyes, my pretty bride. Foo-foo. Give it your all, little man. Why haven't I even been able to praise the stronger little man directly yet? When little man grows up and becomes stronger, it's my duty to tell him you've done great before anyone else. And yet, I can't even speak to him now, he ignores me, I give chase and can't catch up. Looking at the back of the boy running through at the speed of light that I couldn't catch up with, I bit my lips and desperately chased after him. Author's note: ladies and gentlemen, I am always indebted to you. If you notice this work, the overall evaluation has exceeded 80,000 drills. Thank you very much for your enthusiasm. I will still do my best to aim for the remaining 920,000 drills, so I look forward to working with you in the future. S1, she was 5 at the time. How put that notion in her head already? I'm looking at you, Mamu. S2, in the Ross, she's making a canby. It's a gesture where you pull an eyelid down as you stick your tongue out. Quite rude if you ask me. Chapter 89, Intermission, Princess, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sad07. For how long, I wonder. I might have been underestimating Earth, who was always on equal footing with me, no, who was pulling everyone as our leader when I was young. Among us childhood friends, Earth did not have unrivaled growth rate or special talent like Rabal and Fu. Earth himself seemed to be aware of that when he entered the academy. He didn't talk about his dreams like he used to, and was somewhat sulky. I was strict with Earth, telling him that this is not good enough for the man who will become my husband and the next emperor of this country, and make Earth a better man, trying to fulfill my duty as a fiancé. In fact, I wanted to go on dates like couples of my age do without worrying about the public eye, but I had to restrain myself and endure it until Earth became man enough to not complain to anyone. Occasionally, there might have been girls trying to woo Earth, but well, that was, at the very least, until I graduated from the academy. That's what I thought. But Earth was also a boy. The information from Sodeyes also confirmed that he was in possession of a smutty book. If Earth couldn't bear it, well, I was prepared to go any time, but in the end Earth never came on to me. That's why I sometimes felt anxious. Doesn't Earth want to make progress with me? Because of that anxiety, when I learned that Earth was trying to beat me and win the match and confess to something, I was so happy that I could ascend to heaven. And when Earth wielded enough power to overwhelm Rabal, I was astonished, but at the same time thrilled. The charm of Earth as a man exceeded my tolerance, and I was so aroused that I wanted him to embrace me immediately. However, Earth ran away from me who was in such a dreamy state. I have no idea why. He hit Lord Hero, despaired over something, and, according to hearsay, wielded the power of the once destroyed Great Demon King. I was always with him at the academy and had many a mock battle with Earth. I know the power of Earth better than anyone else in the world, even better than Sodeyes. Even I didn't know the power that Earth wielded. It was clear that something was happening to Earth without my knowledge. However, no matter how much I think about it, I couldn't understand it. That's why I'm on the chase for him. No matter what kind of wife I become, I will not be a woman who just sits still. Fiance. No. Princess. Leave it up to us to track Earth down. What did you say, Lady Mamu? As a wife, would you leave your husband if he ran from home? That. Yeah. Me, Hero and His Majesty. If it really did happen someday. We were talking about our dreams. But that was our wish. And we were ignoring Earth's feelings. And we. To you. I'm really sorry. We've done something that gave you strange expectations. Really. I've even made my future mother this concerned for me. In other words, in the current situation where Earth has done various things and has been cursed by the people of the Imperial City, it would be difficult for Earth to become my husband, and it was rather difficult to let me do this out of concern for the trouble he would cause me. You needn't say a word, Lady Mamu. Princess. Certainly. I didn't know about Earth. My life's greatest failure as far as I'm concerned. Why did Earth do this? What happened to Earth? However, even if I worry about it, I won't get an answer by dwelling on it, so it's no use thinking about it now. But if I didn't know, I'll learn from now on. Then, no matter what he did, no matter what the world thinks of Earth, I will not abandon Earth. I will not give up on Earth. That's right. Our mutual love is precious. We can already be called couple with no objections, and as a couple, we have no intention of separating. In other words, we're basically husband and wife. No, it doesn't seem that. Earth. About the princess. As a woman. Yes, I understand. Then, I'll make him fall in love again after catching him. That's fine with you, right? Princess. You think I'll back down from just that? Obstacles are inherent in love, and it will only they burn brighter when they are overcome. Then, let's go capture Earth. Too much. Mamu was so concerned about me that she said something like, Earth doesn't love me anymore. She said such a lie to keep me away from this matter it seems, but I'm not childish enough to fall for such tricks. Earth and me. Our connection cannot be severed or overturned by anyone. From that time when we first came across my Earth. That's why I told you to wait, hey. Earth. However, to make a woman chase after you, a considerable amount of punishment is needed later. And I'm giving my best effort to catch up to him. But no matter how much I run, I wonder how far. Why did he rush out and suddenly flee? Who are you? I don't understand the circumstances, but... Who? The voice of a young woman. And a presence. The moment the three of us stopped at the same time, 3 small knives fell from above and stabbed to the ground before us. Who's there? You're being impolite to us. This is... Kunai. Ninja warrior. Who are you? When I looked up, a woman was on the branch of a tree. I mean no disrespect. But, you see, to give priority to Honey's feelings I'm going to be an inconvenience and stop you here. What? A mysterious black-haired woman. She seemed to be standing in front of us in order to impede our pursuit for the fleeing Earth. What kind of relationship does she have with Earth? Oh honey. Yes, that's right. I met him the other day, and he showed me such charm as a man that I fell madly in love with him. But I've only just met him. I don't want to be thought of as a clingy flirt following him around on his journey to live freely in the moment. So all I can do now is support and help him from the shadows as a shinobi. That's why, I will not let you go any further. Honey. H.H. Han3. This person, this woman. Hey. What are you saying? I don't know what happened between you and Earth, but don't scamper around my husband. Earth and I have been friends since we were little. Newcomers who came out later should back off. She gives me the creeps. My guts are boiling over. A thieving cat was trying to put a wedge between me and Earth. Husband. Since you were little. Oh, I see. That's what you mean. What is it? You're his first love, the one who's still on his mind. That's right. Fufufu, I see. That's what you mean. Then the thieving cat looked at me and nodded as if she was satisfied with something, and snickered as if to ridicule me. No matter how much I've fallen for him, I still just met him. If there's a woman he's had long-standing feelings for and can't forget. If that woman would make him happier than me. I was thinking of silently stepping aside, but... What the hell? No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be very rude, but... Surely, you are a beautiful woman, breasts are so. But, Fufu, the thought that you could win at all. What? At that moment, I understood. Earth was getting farther away due to this strange pause. However, even if I ignore this woman here, she will continue to stand in the way. She's an enemy that must be struck down right here and now. Earth became so popular. Before I knew it. Little man. To be honest, this is not the time to be involved with such a person. However, my instinct as a woman are telling me. It can't be helped. Mother. I'll stay. Oh well. About the first love stuff and all that, seems there's been some weird misunderstandings. I can't run away from this woman. And it's neither Lady Mamu nor Sodeyes who should defeat her. It's me. The two of you, chase after Earth. I will take care of this. No. Princess. They are hesitant to go ahead without me, but they can't say so. This is an order. We can't afford to lose sight of Earth. That's why you have to go ahead and catch him. I'll punish this cat and catch up soon. Coo, Princess, but... Who do you think I am? If we let him get away, it's all for nothing. Then, at least I'll stay. Whatever the circumstances, we can't leave the princess on her own. I'll do it. No, I have to do it. Quickly, go. You're going to lose sight of him. This is a battle of pride, not as a princess, but as a woman. Ah, Ga. You, understood, princess, but be careful. Don't overdo it. So I emphasized that this was an order and let the two of them go. Hold it, no one's going, that's right. You will never go near Earth again. Imperial Spear, the Grestic Spearhead. I let fly a thrust of my spear, similar to wind pressure, and she avoided my attack. I see, it seems she's a little capable, this woman. Wind art. Ha. Unveiled hidden romance jutsu. Moreover, to attack while evading. Magic. No, I don't feel much magic power. Wind. However, it was only a light breeze being blown at my feet. Skirt. Coo, what the hell are you doing? My skirt was rolled up a little. Well, since the opponent was a woman, it doesn't matter if she sees my underwear in the least. Oh. Not white. For the most part, his taste is restrained. Doviko, new what? What's more, high-quality silk. I wonder if she's a proper lady. They said she was a princess, but, not entirely. No, hey, wait a minute. Why all of the sudden? Earth's taste. What do you mean? Do you not know? His favorite underwear is white. By the way, the other day, he had a look at mine. Earth, panties. N.N.O, maybe he has seen mine, without me realizing they could be seen. But yeah, does Earth like white? I just happen to wear black today, but... No, more importantly, Earth and this woman, what's with looking at panties other than mine? Punishment is necessary after all. But on the other hand, me and Earth were too platonic. Or rather, I do not show such openings so much, so maybe that's why Earth is messing with smutty books. Well, then, I don't mind showing you my panties, if that's the case. No, panties. As it is, Earth may get a nosebleed and ravish me. But if it happened, it would. Mfufu. 3. Now, rather than that, I should focus on the indecent woman in front of me. A woman with dreams beyond her station. You'll learn to the depths of your pores just whose man you're trying to make a move on. Fall to obscurity as soon as possible. I'll put to rest the ghosts of the past that torment him. We can't compromise with each other. We who collided with such feelings. I'll at least ask your name first. What's your name? Shinobu Stoke. Is that so? I know. You're the woman in his thoughts, Sodeyes. 4. Ha. Wrong. No, why did she mistake me for Sodeyes? And, why are you so surprised with that vacant look? Or rather, what a ridiculous misunderstanding. Well, in any case, Earth is. That's right. Either way, honey is. We immediately regained our composure and prepared for each other. Mine. And, mutually refusing to concede, we clashed with each other. It was then. Nay. That one is mine, Know thy place. Little human lasses, and I lost consciousness at that point. Author's note: it's hot. I can't stand cool biz, super cool biz, or my usual naked biz. It's so hot that the head does not work. Therefore, it was because of the heat that I had forgotten the princess's name. S1, https://youtube.b/wi/6bce20, S2, wrong. S3, yeah, Shinobu's right. Nothing princess. Like here. S4, again, wrong. Chapter 90, Intermission, Dark Valkyrie, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sat07, Ku, kill me. I remember it still. Down to the last second, how long since we first met, and how long my servitude to him. At that first encounter, I was but a foolish little girl, yet to know of naught. The great sinner that looked up to the incompetent Odin, who never showed voice or visage as a deity, and raised arms to the true God, foolish of me. It was I, as a Valkyrie in the heavens. Never will I yield to demons. The kingdom of the clouds, Angela Kingdom, has existed since times of old, a realm inhabited only by our tribe, the Seraphs. They, in essence, did not interfere with the surface world. Legends. Fairy tale. A paradise of beautiful goddesses, their wings flapping. Many are the tales spread on the surface, but such a world truly exists. Born on the clouds, raised on the clouds, taught on the clouds, conceive on the clouds, live on the clouds, and die on the clouds. That was us, the Seraphs. However, that the war between the demons and the surface world would intensify, and its influence reverberate to the heavens was cause for concern. Hence I believed the war ought to end soonest, and storm the demon realm for the head of the demon king. Why assail the demon realm? Because, the demon king is evil, was the breadth of my wisdom. Therefore, it was the evil demons who wage war, invade the surface world and spread their malice. As the purveyor of such acts, defeating the demon king would place me on the side of justice. My role, I believed, was to be God's instrument. And, after vanquishing hundreds of thousands of soldiers, the demon king himself appeared before me, and against his overwhelming power, for the first time in my life, suffered defeat. Ho, did you cut a strand of my hair? 'Tis an accomplishment in itself. As expected, you have a good eye. A single strand of hair. I prided myself as the strongest, yet for all my power, I could only inflict that much on the great demon king, and nothing more. The world mightiest, I believe myself to be, an apostle of God, hence my pride laid shattered and I await death's summon. However, that one said to me as I crawled on the ground. A little seraph girl as a Valkyrie, intellect beyond human wisdom, still young and beautiful, the power to fully rout the demon king army, 'tis regrettable. Such great promise, may eventually influence the fate of the demon king army in the demon realm as well, but I am to crush such a possibility. Shocking were the words to me as I thought I was to die, but determined not to plead for my life at least. Beautiful, and regrettable, the demon king said. Any clear-headed person would understand. Yes, transcending the world, his race, and all the barriers, he fell in love with me, the demon king did. Curious I once was about the demon king's true gender, but it doesn't matter anymore. However, in his position as the demon king and mine as his enemy, he cannot show mercy. What love tragedy! Even back home, my only interest was improving myself, so to be clear, I had no experience with romance. Women longingly gaze at me though of same gender and call me elder sister, and the rancid filthy men approached me, but I paid them no mind. In the first place, I couldn't imagine associating with those weaker than I. However, different it was with the demon king. Stronger than I am. Nay, the very first being I've come across in my life that was stronger than me. Moreover, for such an existence to fall in love with one such as I. How could such be so lamentable? But I cannot accept those feelings. Because I'm a Valkyrie. This body and soul are dedicated to Father Odin, the great god. Odin, if you are to die some unseen figure, so be it. Jealousy of Odin. My dedication to Odin has brought forth jealousy in the Demon King. At that moment, this heart of mine throbbed. And concurrently, my thoughts were swayed. Why did I devote myself and my heart to Odin in the first place? In my home, Odin is our god. However, never have I met him, never have I seen him, never have I heard his voice. However, because my parents and kin worshipped him as God, and I was educated so, it was only natural that I did the same. But, upon consideration, never has Odin done anything for me. What meaning is there in such an existence? In Odin? Is it not a parasite that, despite being an incompetent that contributes nothing, continues to deceive by brainwashing education from times of our ancestors and attempts to settle in our hearts and minds? On the other hand, here before me stands one who is stronger than me and has affection for me. However, he struggles with all manner of obstacles and situations, and tries to conceal his heart as he fights the world for his companions, races, and the demon realm. Realizing the too precious nature of such a figure, I was moved. Be at ease. Thou need not suffer so much. Thou need not be jealous of that froth Odin. However, the Demon King would not be able to take me away with his own hands and make me his woman. Then, the only way to be with him was to stand by his side. I won't plead for life. But, great Demon King, allow me to be thy right arm. Heh. My proposal surprised even the Demon King. Well, in the end I was accepted, after various encounters with fastidious aging veterans. Naturally, in the Demon King's army, I started as lowly infantry. However, I did away with my rivals and rose to the rank of general in but a few years. In the midst of the war, still enthralled by Dross Odin's deceit, my former kin tried to steal me back, but they were all routed. Such bitter and sorrowful voices from ones I've shared much with, my former comrade, underlings, elders, brothers and sisters, and my own parents, but particularly, I felt no hurt in my heart. Compared to the charm of the Demon King, they were but dregs. On the contrary, my despair was in the opposite sense. Was time spent with such incompetence wasted, I wondered. And, after all, the scum called Odin never appeared despite all that was done to the Seraphs. Truly, an insignificant society and race. And the Seraphs are no apostles of God. Long ago, white-winged avian harpies and other beasts mixed among the humans, and evolved. However, the fellowship was persecuted by the people of the past, and those capable of powerful magic used clouds and created a world, a paradise for only the winged people, and handed down lore claiming to be apostles of the god Odin to comfort themselves. That is all. Revealed the truth was one day, one that even I didn't know. Impostors, they were all along. I, so, until I met you, was but a pretender. Ha, 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 what wasteful days, learning the truth. Though I had no longing for my family or home, I felt despair. However, he said to me, if you think that everything was meant to shape who you are today, the days that seemed useless will not be in vain, and I understood. Without a doubt, anyone can do it if they simply believe. However, 'tis not easy to fight and risk your life with such feelings. As a result, if your existence fostered strength, not all of it would be in vain. Great Demon King, and, depending on your situation, there will be various opinions about whether or not your actions were right. However, now that you have come to our side, the number of demons and soldiers who would be casualties of war has been decreased significantly, the lives of many demons were saved and protected. I have no choice but to admit that 'tis an undeniable fact. Those were the words that saved my heart. A truly free love. An infinite vessel. And I understood. Nay. It's no longer love, it's nothing so low anymore. Convinced I was that he is God. This is the God worthy of dedication and servitude. It was no longer worship. I fight for God and die for Him with my all. My entire existence is for God. At the same time, however, there was also anxiety. God is the unique being. But what then if something were to befall God? God does not beget children like the horses and monkeys around Him. God has been an absolute existence for 1,010,000 years, and I will continue to protect Him from all threats. However, 1 in 1 billion. 1 in 1 trillion. The possibility cannot be dispelled. Above all, God may have a lifespan. If so, the world will lose God. That alone is unacceptable. So I advised. The next God. Creation project. But God said, nonsense, and refused my counsel. The word of God is absolute. Therefore, if God says so, it is natural to obey. But there I choose not to follow. Because I worship God, I didn't think my plan was folly. But if God was not to have a child, I must devise another way. And the required material was already present to me. Ancient forbidden magic from the destroyed city of sorcery, Shiznotmi. Both my eyes, heraldic eye. Residing in my talisman, the hair from my first encounter with God. Using it I wondered if the hero's foolish act of destroying God would stain the world with despair, but, after all, my scheme was right. 15 years have passed since God's destruction. During that time, to avoid the eyes of the allied forces, the 7 heroes, and the demons who turned on us, we remained in hiding, but the time has finally come. That's why all that was needed was the final key. However, finding one worthy of being that final key proved most difficult. But fate smiled upon us. Not only the heroes, but the children of the 7 heroes, will eventually pose a threat to us. To confirm their power, the previous match held in the Imperial City was monitored through magic crystal, but I never expected that the final key would be there. In order to make the final key, I even trained a talented young lad, but it didn't matter anymore. Even though he wasn't under my tutelage, lo and behold, a man wielding the power of the Demon King appeared. How that man was able to use the power of the great Demon King, I do not know. However, such a thing should be examined at a later time. It's a small matter in front of the fact that the power of the great Demon King was used. No matter who the man is related to. Whatever may happen, it will be in my possession. Well, in any case, Earth is mine. That's right. Either way, honey is mine. All obstacles that flock will be scattered. Nay. That one is mine, Know thy place. Little human lasses, Anne. That is ours. Well, these little girls do not matter, the problem is Mamu. By no means, fate added Mamu to the proceedings. This may prove troubling. It can be settled here, but I cannot afford to allow the keys escape in the meantime. Besides, the magic of the breakthrough runs low. Apparently, that doesn't seem to be able to use magic breathing. Or does he not know of it? In any case, they will soon catch up. No choice. If that's the case, the consumption of magic is vast, but, to secure the key, must I warp. Key and Mamu, soon I'll catch up. The ancient magic used since times when we were once on the run from our pursuers. Long-distance transfer magic, J.Ru, and, with the key unaware, I absorbed him into space. Time of my creation. Chapter 91, Church. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Translated by Sad07. To be honest, I didn't know what happened. However, the breakthrough ran out, my magic power was gone, my physical strength had been drained and fatigue from the battle against Tulo and Bro had reached its limit. Mother and Sodai's chasing after me. As my legs were about to stop at the sound of their voices calling to me, I was swallowed up by a black vortex that appeared right before my eyes. Some kind of magic. The power of Mother or Sodai's. It seemed that Trayanar was screaming something just before, but now I don't know what it was. I was so exhausted that I couldn't resist any more and left myself to the whirlpool, and before I knew it, I found myself far from conscious. What the hell was that? WH. What's going on? Then, when I realized it, I woke up again. A fluffy bed on my back. Warm sheets. And an unfamiliar ceiling. When I sat up and looked around the room, it reminded me of the infirmary in the academy building. Is this a medical office? Did I get caught? I mean, it can't be. The Imperial City. If so, it's the worst. But my prediction was soon disproved. No, 'tis not. 'Tis far from the Imperial City. Not even in the Empire. Oh, Haya. You have slept quite a lot. Well, it means you used that much of your power. Beside the bed was Trayanar, who was sighing, finally awake. But, it's not the Empire. What happened to me? What's that vortex? That. There is so much afoot. And you. If I do say so myself. 'Tis going to be quite the nuisance. As I was stretching out my drowsiness, Trayanar, with a strange expression, suddenly said that to me. Involuntarily, I was surprised and woke up at once. What do you mean? First of all, just before you were caught by Mamu and the maid, you were transferred far away by that woman's magic. That was the vortex. Ha. WH, what? Transferred, 'tis so. To be clear, movement through space. Time is super. High-grade magic, above, Giga. Class. And forbidden due to its magical property to twist space and time. Space, so, this really isn't the Empire. And who would do that? Don't tell me. Was it Shinobu? 'Tis not that Shinobi. And 'tis more troublesome. You think it's more troublesome than Shinobu? A woman more troublesome than Shinobu is in this world. No. But Shinobu is a pretty nice person, isn't she? How should I put it, who it is? Trayanar's acquaintance. Someone you know. Besides, there's Mom and Sadai's, that. I'm worried about this, but what about those two? I know not what happened, but well, there should be no problem. That one may have a grudge against Mamu, but she will not take revenge at the moment. 'Tis surely why she kidnapped you with such great magic. Kidnap. Was I kidnapped? Who was it? Who brought me, and where in the world am I? That is. HNN. At that time, Trayanar and I noticed a presence approaching this room. Presences. Two of them. Oh, upsy daisy. Sorry, barging in yo. Oh, you're up. I had been bracing myself, but suddenly suffered disappointment as if I had lost my strength. Two women dressed as nuns opened the door of the room and came in. No, women were women, but compared to me they're both. Oh, nice to meet you. Name's Karui. I'm 13 years old attending the Kakratale School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And I serve as a sister of the church at times, a straight neat and tidy maiden. As I thought she was younger than me, that's exactly right. 2 years younger. Also cheerful and noisy. She had short-cut red hair, a happy-go-lucky, over-familiar attitude and got touchy without warning. And a little girl was peeking at me while hiding behind Karui. She's trying to hide her eyes under the nun outfit's deep hood. For the time being, she muttered what seemed to be her name, bowed to me with a blank look, and immediately hid behind Karui. Nahahaha, no, I'm sorry. This one is shy, but if you get used to it or allow her heart to open up, her attitude will change, so do your best to open your heart. Saying that, Karui laughed as she stroked the head of a small child named Ame. No, do your best. No, 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 before that. Wait, wait. There's a lot going on, but... First, where are we? Why am I here? So, what are you? Hey, wait a minute. Come to think of it, you. Just now. Kakratail. Yes, the first step is to confirm the situation. There were so many different, I couldn't get it all straight. Oh, that's right. If we talk about the country. This is the country of Kakratail. And this is the infirmary of the great church in the capital. Ca, Kakratail. That's the big, isolated island nation. Yes, that's it. Well, then, isn't it bad for me? Kakratail. I've heard it, if just the name. An island country floating in the sea of the surface world. A country that had little to no interaction with other countries and was therefore cut off from information. In the past, they did not participate in the Allied forces, which was created by the rallying of most human nations in the war with the demon realm, and resisted the demon king's army on their own. Because it was a secluded country, sneaking in was a punishable offense, and you would not be allowed to set foot in the country without permission. I mean, I'm in that country, right? Well, for the time being, I don't get it either, but it's okay because the High Priestess brought you in, right? In this country, where the civil war has ended, the High Priestess has the most power. The High Priestess. The High Priestess. What's more, there was a terrible civil war. Wait a minute. Well, such is the way of things. No need to be hesitant. Well. I'd be at a loss if thou lingered on without improving thyself. At that time, I was about to get a headache for a lot of things, but soon all my thoughts were blown away, and when I noticed, I was standing on the bed, reflexively bracing myself. Wah. That's a good response. That's fine. Were I an enemy, thou might have died had the guard been a few seconds slower. Sweat spouted all over my body in an instant. There was a beautiful woman. She had long black hair and a voluptuous and attractive body covered with a black priestess uniform. In her hand, she held a shining scepter. At first glance, she gave the impression that she's just a beautiful and sexy woman, but I was so on guard. It was because my body reacted to the strange power I felt from the woman in front of me. Who are you? Strong. And more terrifying than anyone I've ever met. Much more than Mr. aka, deep and dark. I, the High Priestess. Shall give you my real name eventually, Earth Lagan. Oh, my name. Ah, that's right. So you're the one who brought me here with that vortex magic. Indeed. You're kidding. Hey. That. My mother and. Worry not. Mamu and I have much that binds us, but I didn't do anything. Really? I wonder. When I glanced at Traenar, he was looking at the woman with a serious face and his arms folded. After all, do you know Traenar? Well, this person doesn't seem to be human. Well, do rest up for a while. However, as I said before, I don't want thee to linger too long. Thou were brought to this country because I need something of thee. What? Until then, thou should reside in this church. As for thy personal affairs, Karui and Ame who are here. Say, Karui. What has become of Sakshi? So, all of a sudden. You want me to do something. And there's still another woman in this church. Oh, I think sister is probably at the dojo, right? I'm sure she's still trying to give her favorite Machio a healthy meal or something like that. If Machio, who doesn't know about the supplementary prize, wins that competition. They won't end up together. It's such a sad fate, but... Wait a minute. High Priestess, you just said that he can stay here. No, 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 this is a maiden's garden. Don't say that. This one has special permission. Above all, this man could be the Cupid that binds Machio and Sakshi. This one, at least for the moment, is already stronger than Bro. Oh, that's right. No, 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 seriously. More than Mr. Bro. Well, I was wondering what would happen after Bro left, but seriously. Suddenly, I got excited. What the hell is that? Do you also know Bro? Then Karui, with her eyes shining, stared at me, and Ame also looked at me with a flash of interest. I don't know what it was, but the High Priestess smiled. In 3 months' time, a tournament will be held in this country. The Arcane True Zenith Fighting Competition. I will ask thee participate in said tournament and win the championship. Until then, thou wilt not leave this country. Well, I have taken numerous measures to prevent thy escape, but... Ha! The winning privilege of the championship is an enormous treasure. And, a supplementary prize. Well, the winner will receive the supplementary prize as well. Only I and my church as overseers of the tournament are aware of it. Something amazing. A tremendous honor. Do look forward to it and give it thy all. Arcane True Zenith. True Zenith. That's what Bro was using. No, a tournament. And the winner. Why would I do that? I mean, why would I ever do that when I was brought here without consent? Not good. I can't organize anything in my head, and I can't even retort. Author's note: now, I feel that the introduction is finally over and the story begins in earnest. The theme of the new series is, even if a warrior from another country or a magic school appears in the new world, if you look down on a person without knowing what you're doing, you'll make a harem, and the author will shave his head and apologize. This summer, not only measures against poor health from the heat, I will do my best to be careful not to become greasy. Chapter 92, God, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sad07. I didn't understand what she was saying to me. In the first place, why should I participate in such a tournament? What's more, this from a suspicious person who kidnapped me without permission. Besides, if this was a secluded nation, it's doubtful that I'd really be able to sit around and relax in here. Still wary as expected. But thou ought to reconsider attempting escape with the breakthrough, right? A barrier surrounds this island at the moment. Even with the magic spiral, thy current level is insufficient to break it. Warehouse. What? I had a long sleep and was able to fully recover my physical strength and magical power as well. Now, I can trigger a breakthrough again. This High Priestess in front of me must be quite powerful, but if it's just to run away. As if seeing through my thoughts, the High Priestess disavowed it. There's a barrier. Well, prior to that, why does thou know the breakthrough and the great magic spiral? That's right. How do you know about my skills? Who the hell are you? I'll inform thee another time. In the meantime, worry not. Train here for 3 months, win the tournament, and help me with a little matter. That is all. No, hey, wait. There's more. You said until I won the championship, but what do you mean by helping a little after that? This was the first time we've met. But I knew. She's probably telling the truth. Not about barriers or anything like that, just that they won't let me go until their goal has been achieved. Absolutely never let go. That mood was conveyed from every word. To begin with, what's the point, that something other tournament? Why do I have to be in something like that? The Arcane True Zenith Fighting Competition. A tournament where men proud of their skills gather from all over this country to compete for power. As a man, there are no entry requirements for participation in the tournament. Be it students of the magic school, former rank and file soldiers of the kingdom, or even paupers. And, as the organizer of the tournament, it is my recommendation for thee to participate. But, so, why me? In fact, I tried to limit it to only practitioners of the Arcane True Zenith School, but then the winner is almost certain to be that man. In which case, I thought to allow entry to anyone, whatever their discipline, so the door was open to all besides those involved with the Arcane True Zenith. It was the right choice. Normally, I would have resisted, saying, even if I'm told I can't escape, I'll try to see if it's true. But I couldn't take action, and all I could do was throw verbal jabs. After all, I could tell. She's strong. If I'm unlucky. At the level of the 7 heroes. Then, at that time. Please do it. Ah. Ha. Karui and Ame firmly clasped my hand. I want Big Brother to participate in this tournament and prevent a man from winning the championship. It's about a woman's love. With that said, they held on with their feverish hands and begged me seriously. No, love. What's that about? Oh, and by the way. Do you have a girlfriend or something, Big Brother? Ha. What the heck, all of a sudden. No, I don't. Shinobu professed her feelings, but we still haven't gone out or anything like that. The matter with Sodeyes was painful, so let's not trudge up that memory. But what does the tournament have to do with love? Besides, whether I have a girlfriend or not. Really? In that case, there's no problem. Yes, that was ideal. Then, you might be pleased with the supplementary prize, too. Then I want you to do your best. Good luck. And I was being wholeheartedly supported by them. No, I don't understand the situation well, but at great pains, I was growing accustomed to them. I don't want to get caught up in a mess that I don't understand. Although. As things are, winning the tournament is absolutely impossible. New. The moment I thought I would somehow get out of this place and somehow managed to escape the barrier of the Great Priestess, she said words as if to try me. And, although it was too simple a provocation, it was not easy to hear. What was that? Just as I have said. I had the privilege of watching thy match through the magic crystal. There certainly were some highlights. But currently, victory is impossible. That's why, do put in the effort. It was simply as good as saying that I wasn't strong enough. But at the same time I was wondering. I don't know what it is. In the first place, why do you want me to win so much? Somehow, when I win the championship, something unpleasant will follow. Wouldn't you think? Why are you invested in my victory? Then, the High Priestess shut her mouth a little to my question, but... Fufu. No choice then. How is thy body? No, not particularly. Then I'll have thee join me in the chapel for a moment. Saying that, the High Priestess went out the door. Karui and Ame followed after her. For the time being, I raised my vigilance to the maximum for whatever comes and followed. This country of Cacratail has been isolated for over a century, except for a few. It's a closed and strict country, only the privileged ones or those permitted to traverse its borders possess information about the outside. Even those few, though, have been conditioned through various means so as not to leak inside information to the outside. The High Priestess walked down the hallway to the chapel and told me. However, the inhabitants of Cacratail are not simply ignorant, peaceful islanders, they have a long history of civil warfare, including skirmishes. In short, the country's inner affairs and shame have been hidden for years so other countries remain unaware. Civil war. I don't know that much, it hasn't been taught in academy classes. Karui said such a thing a little while ago. But the civil war is over. The old regime brought low. And the founder God sides with us. Founder. Saying that, the high priestess opened the door at the end of the corridor. There was a spacious church chapel. On the high ceiling, stained glass windows and ceiling paintings of angels reminiscent of holiness. And in the chapel, there were a lot of seemingly ordinary people who came to pray. High priestess. Oh, high priestess. So beautiful today as well. When the people noticed the presence of the high priestess, their eyes lit up and gave joyous expressions. Everyone is enthusiastic today, too. Yes. It's all thanks to God that we, who were suffering from oppression, can live in this way. Fufu, your prayers of gratitude, certainly they have reached God. Oh, thank you. Isn't this attitude different from before? Until a while ago, you were trying to get me into a fighting tournament, no questions asked, but now you have a tremendous expression of compassion. By the way, great priestess. Today. Is the goddess present? The goddess is resting in her room now. Hopefully she will be able to attend the upcoming congregation. At that time, you may worship the goddess' precious visage env well. The upcoming congregation. I understand. I'll come without fail. Oh. What great fortune. To be able to worship the honorable face of the goddess who saved us. So. Goddess. What? Again, I got a word I didn't know at all, but. Ah. Is that? New.ode and I found an outrageous item on the altar of the chapel. So outrageous, even Traenar was startled. There stood a bronze statue made in the image of a certain person. No, well, somehow. That person, or rather. Do behold. Young man. Then, the great priestess, who noticed my situation, smiled. That. The statue of the founder god that is now spreading throughout Kakratail. Whose true name is so sacred, we cannot even allow it to be uttered. The works, teachings, and creed of the founder god inspired this country's people and brought the civil war to an end. No, that reputation sounds extremely forced. This person, knowing what I know of the one the statue resembled, what a daring thing to say. No, the person in that statue is. Really? No, hold on. 'Tis wrong. I have nothing to do with this. Or rather, apologies. I cannot even process anything right now. Please give little time. When I asked the person whose image the statue was of, Traenar, the person in question, was holding his head and pondering something. Yes, on the altar was a statue of a person resembling Traenar. Why? Well. On to the next. Well, already. I mean, where? The high priestess told us to go to the next, without giving us time to think about the situation. I mean, what's next? What, it's close by. A facility right across from this church. Is a dojo where thou can learn about the work of the founder god. Dojo. The Arcane True Zenith Dojo. Konami City Headquarters. By the way, there are various branches, such as the Gord branch, Zabers branch, Mekros branch, and so on. Well, come along. That said, I'm the one who's been pushed around from the beginning. Even Traenar is still holding his head. After all, what is this woman all about? But all I can say for the time being is. As I stepped into the dojo and the atmosphere of the dojo. No, I saw the equipment installed in the dojo that Traenar had never seen before. My tension was elevated and once again I'm about to train. Author's note: yesterday, the author's concern was more about shaving hair rather than the impressions of the work. And I'm not going to shave, okay? I just said that I would shave if I made that kind of development that I explained last time, but I'll do my best not to make it that kind of shit development, so I'm not going to shave. Chapter 93, The Dojo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sad07. Leaving the church, I went outside and saw the paved road in front of me. Each square-cut stone was evenly embedded in the ground, and buildings were lined up on either side of the large, spacious road. Because it was a secluded nation, I thought it would feel more like a developing country, but it seemed I took them lightly. Come on, it's close by. As I was fascinated by the state of the city, the high priestess called to me. There was a large 3-story building directly opposite the huge and artistic church. That's the Arcane True Zenith or something dojo. Honestly, I set foot in the dojo with little interest, wondering why I was quietly following her. And then. Oh, master, hey there master, master. The moment I opened the door and went inside, a sudden gust of heat came upon my face. The heat was completely different inside than outside, probably because of the steam. And there. OSU. Men. These guys also say that, such men. Some were about my age, and others old and bearded. Everyone was covered in sweat, had well-trained bodies, and had a very strong impression. Don't strain thyself. The high priestess responded to all of them with such a cool face, master. This is, as for that, and beside me, while I was fascinated by the people in the dojo, Trainer was more focused on the equipment on the ground floor of the dojo. What was it? I've never seen that before. Somehow, rings were attached to the left and right of a long stick, and it was lifted up while clenching teeth with a very serious face. Was it heavy? There are such similar tools everywhere, and some people are flying around with ropes. What's more, there are huge mirrors all over the walls. Hey, it's even bigger than the mirror I saw in the princess's room when I was a kid. Magical bench press. Magical jumping rope. Oh, magical squats. Magical pull-ups, moreover the mirror. For some reason. Trainar's eyes were sparkling, somehow, he's squirming. Hey, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that is, a person was sitting on a device with wheels on the front and back, moving his legs to turn the wheels. However, the wheels do not go forward because they are fixed to the floor. What is the point of the thing? Is it thy first time seeing this? That is called a magical bike. Bike. Simply put, thy legs can be trained by exercising for a long time. Is that how it works? Well, seriously. Those names sound like something Trainer would have given. The ground floor is a magical training room, it is open to the public for free. There are also rooms that train visual acuity and a swimming pool in the backyard. It would benefit thee to come at any time and train with as many instruments as thou would like. Ask them how to use it. They'll show thee how in a refreshing manner. I had to admit, I'm quite interested in it. All of them are equipment that I've never seen before. And, everyone training their body by using them all have moderately good girth. Sue. I still don't know why I'm in this situation. But I'm starting to enjoy it a little more. Until just a while ago, I was worried about my mother and Sawdeyes. My goodness. 'Tis inadequate. At that time, however, Trainer, who was very lively, stood with his arms folded and a scowl. 'Tis certainly training in its own way. However, I have never used such equipment. The people here do not know how to really train efficiently. Goodness, to bench press, properly bend the elbows and place it on the chest. Over there, that should be raised with momentum to lower recoil. The hips float too much, as well. Those squats are not in a proper posture either. In such case, he will simply tire out and hurt his back. No, he had a scowl, but it's a scowl that's made when you're getting all excited. if one originally lacking muscle strength exercises, muscle strength will be gained at first. But to train to a certain level and beyond, naturally the right training regimen is needed. In this case, all that can be trained is your guts. Do not adopt this, she is called master, but that one does not understand. After all, they are simply imitating my form and spreading it as knowledge. Even though such an environment exists with great care, the treasure is rotten. Fufufu, as such, I will have to drill the child with the proper training from scratch. And 3 months until the tournament. 'Tis just right. It still requires 3 months for the results of strength training and other effects to emerge. Fufufu, I am itching to begin. Apparently, although I approve of this environment, Trainer seemed dissatisfied with the way they actually trained here, and that's why I am very grateful and motivated to train with this fellow in the right way. Come on, let's go. That's it, spread your legs wide, and 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And the voice of a cheerful woman and a lot of women were heard rhythmically from a different room. What? What are you going to do with your legs spread out? I should probably check things out in there. Well, when I thought about that kind of thing, I'm amazed again by Trainer. In that room, they're doing magical aerobics to get in some exercise, rather than training. The sisters under my tutelage lead the sessions, and it is very popular with housewives and young women. What? You even perform magical aerobics. Oh, Trainer, who's in high spirits, doesn't care what's on my mind right now. Somehow, there seemed to be a lot going on, and then there's Trainer and the High Priestess, who seem to know each other. She's dressed as a human being, but after all this woman is. Now, upstairs. The second floor is a place to teach his work. I was expecting that, but once again I was fascinated by the space I saw for the first time on another floor. Kia. Hit it, Kia. Yo. Hit. Hit. Keep hitting the magical sandbag 100 rounds. Oh, yo. Hit a low kick, even if it breaks your leg. Yes. It was full of enthusiasm that was different from the first floor. Unlike the refreshing air of the first floor, each person practices punching and kicking, and hits and kicks bags hung from the ceiling. This is where we teach the arcane true Zenith style. Punching, kicking, throwing, grappling, and various physical techniques are taught to each student trying to learn. The ones teaching here are the disciples I personally trained during the past civil war. Your disciples. That's right. Once, I had received teachings of God, and I descended here with the goddess and taught the arcane true Zenith style to those selected of the Revolutionary Army. Some fled due to its excessive harshness, not only a high priestess, but she also took apprentices and trained them herself. Somehow, she really is. The form always needs improvement. Surely, it looks like it's done in its own way, but it lacks the power to resonate with the opponent's core. Well, my hands are full with just the child, so I need not deal with them. Some of them are drinking raw eggs in a cup. Fuhahahaha. Then, after taking another glance at this space, Trainer made a smug face, saying, I could train more disciples if I wanted. Or, I noticed by Trainer's words, but a guy taking a break had a raw egg. Oh, hey. What are you thinking, drinking raw eggs directly? 3, as usual, that one, is still naive. Yet to release the tiger's eye. Still a long way to call it a tiger den. In what way? Trainer, I was confused when I saw the statue a while ago, but now there's something else. What's a tiger's eye or a tiger den? Incidentally, the third floor is the magical sparring ground, where thou can engage in a mock battle. Thou could try thy skills with other disciples, sometimes with thy teachers. Fufufu, how about it? Then she told me about the facilities and asked, what do you think? The high priestess asked for my impressions. To be honest, it was a dojo completely different from what I had imagined. In a good way. And, although the size is smaller than the training ground at the academy, there are a lot of unknown equipment, so it seemed somewhat interesting. Apart from the tournament, it might be interesting to train here. Yes, train here, surpass Machio. Win the tournament, as the one who inherited the power of the great demon king, that would be a worthy companion for Lady Crone. As for me, it doesn't matter if it's Machio, but although she is human, to have Sakshi's maiden love end with a broken heart, it would pain me little. Somehow, the high priestess was mumbling something, but I couldn't hear it well. Magical sandbag, yes, the child who had only trained in shadow and phantom sparring could further improve the quality of the punches here. Now, what sort of schedule shall I craft? What to do? What shall we do? Trayanar also didn't seem have heard it at all. Now that you're here, you're so cute. Somehow, I'm so excited. Will I train here for a while? Author's note: recently, I searched for a hair removal salon just in case. Well, I'm not going. S1, okay, do they just put magical in front of everything? It's like old SCI.FI stuff putting space in front just because, well, space. S2, yeah, Trayanar is in his element. S3, probably a reference to that one scene from the Rock movies. S4, Halya per minute, is all this an intricate, complicated hookup scheme? Chapter 94, Test Your Might. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Translated by Sad07, gahahahahahaha. Master, you've brought along a very cute brat today. As I was impressed when I saw the inside of the dojo, a big man appeared. He wore shorts and a shirt that extended to his shoulders. He had a shiny bald head, and only grew a mustache, such an overbearing man. He's a pretty muscular guy. Instructor, Kadega. How fare thy students? Oh, there's still a long way to go. They're all motivated to win the tournament in 3 months. Well, I am too, you know. Dear me. How deplorable. But even if we can't win the championship, we won't lose to the soldiers of the old regime or the magic school youngsters who know nothing of the Civil War. I see that even if they couldn't beat Machio, both the masters and the students would benefit from such motivation. I'm glad I opened the door to the tournament after all. Muscular. Huge. He may have a decent amount of power and vigor, but he's somewhere between the lower and middle class imperial warriors. Because the high priestess was too extraordinary, I was concerned about the level of the other teachers, but apparently the high priestess was the only one in a different dimension. Know that it looks like. There's one other person. And, what of Machio? Machio is out on magical roadwork. Well, if I don't have anything to teach him anymore, I don't have anyone he can spar with. Is that so? As expected, Machio will claim victory at this rate. Well, as it is now, however. And that's. Who's the youngster? A student from the wizarding school. Doesn't seem to be an orphan from the slums. Ah. He's an initiate. No, I haven't decided to join yet. Well, Trayanar looked happy, so I think it's okay to join, but. Just join, child. Trayanar. Of course, you need not ask them to teach you, but. This facility may be utilized. Are you sure about this? In general, doing as I'm told seems irksome. I'm going to be sent to some weird tournament. Even so, 'tis fine. What matters is that by taking advantage of this environment now, your strength could increase dramatically. Really. Indeed. If you receive my proper training. I can barely wait to begin. Oh, Trayanar is completely up for it. Maybe he's already forgotten about the High Priestess plot, or why there was a statue of Trayanar, and so on. Wait, master. Recently, there are a lot of pansies who start out at first then run away after a few days, so we can't deal with someone who doesn't have the guts for it. And before I replied, the bald man objected to the high priestess. Even my decision. I mean, when Bro brought his friends a few years ago, they immediately ran away, didn't they? All the same, I must do some tests. Test. Well, I don't mind, apparently, regardless of my intentions, I need to take a test to be initiated into this dojo. Well, I haven't answered yet, but Trainer said that too, and... well, I should probably stand up for my master here. Wow. I'm going to use the facilities here. And... what test do I have to take? Oh, pretty confident guy. However, recently, there are a lot of wimps who talk big then run away immediately. Come on. Isn't it sparring? Gahaha. Hey, I'm not going to bully a newbie like that. With that said, the bald man went downstairs to the first floor. I don't mind if it's a spar. I think I can beat this bald man. Well, even if the high priestess brought him here, we don't even know how strong Big Brother is. Whether he'll be Sister's savior. I'm looking forward to finding out. Karui and Ame look excited about my test. And the high priestess was all smiles as well. That's right. It will inspire the other students, and perhaps it's best to know of the lad's power. Oh, she's got a wicked expression on her face. I knew it, that high priestess is pretty suspicious. Later, I'll have to ask Trainer about this woman. Okay, this is it. The introductory test is Magical Bench Press. Bench Press. And what the bald man showed me as a test on the first floor, he called a bench press. It's like a narrow chair for lying down, and a long bar on top with a ring at both ends. This is a training device specific to the dojo, for strengthening the arms. 'Tis nothing so vague as merely arms. Upper body. Pectoralis major, triceps, deltoid, and so on. The main muscle focused on is the pectoralis major, and you can gain a robust chest. Saying that, the bald man went under the bench press first intending to give a demonstration. At that time, Trainer beside me added more to the bald man's explanation as a supplement. This way, I lie on my back on the table, so that my face and arms come right under the weight of the barbell. Lying on the bench, take hold the bar. At that time, hold the bar with a slightly wider width than the shoulders. And, lift it up like this. Funinununununu, Ndorya. This way, lift the barbell and then lower it. Then place it on your chest once and then lift it again. In that case, the magic on this barbell is a mechanism that increases the weight according to the force put in to lift. That is, the power of the person. By the way, I'm at 120 power. Do this every day, and naturally your strength will increase. A magical light was generated on the barbell, and ancient figures emerged. Is that ancient magic, too? According to the ancient figure, the number 120 is displayed. But what? Do they take simple, max measurement as training? They do not understand, this fellow. Bench press training should be raised and lowered multiple times. At least 10 repetitions. Besides, this one cheats. He lowers the barbell and lifts with the recoil from hitting on the chest. Unless you properly kill the momentum on your chest and then lift, 'tis meaningless. While explaining it with a smug face, Trainer exposed the bald man giving the demonstration. However, the 120 power seemed to be considerable, and the people training in the dojo raised impressed voices. As expected, Instructor Kadega. I'm no match for Machio, but the power is top class of the arcane true zenith style. That's amazing. Well, it's Big Brother's turn next. Go for it. If anything, there's even a round of applause. I don't know if it's such a great figure or not. By the way, the average figure for men is 40 power. In other words, my power is 3 times that of a normal person. Saying that, the bald man smiles with his teeth shining. So, I guess I'm next. In any case, for the child's training, I will learn your max figure as a reference. Show me, child. You originally had a firm foundation, trained diligently, and repeated use of the breakthrough continue to put load on your muscles, so naturally your abilities have improved. The people around me looked on with interest, and Trayanar watched over me with enthusiasm. So for the time being, I'll learn by imitation, and then try it with the proper form, as Trayanar instructed. Lie on your back, take hold of the stick, and lift it. Oh, heavy. Obviously, 'tis max setting. I shall adjust it later, but for now, do not use the breakthrough, just lift it with a full power burst. Nugu, gu, nuo, oh. Does the weight change depending on my power? No, wait a minute. Wouldn't this be a great weapon if you figured out how to use it? I clenched my teeth and used all my arm strength and even my broad back muscles, which I'm aware of when I punch, to lift the barbell. You, how's that? Wah. Hiya. 170. Is that my figure? For the time being, it surpassed the bald man, and the people around him are surprised at the figure. Ho, this is unexpected. Hey, that's amazing. Oh, I couldn't lift this much at that young age. Even though his physique is normal, it's a big deal. Hey, seriously. No, even though it's no match for Machio, it's good enough. Oh. I see. In other words, using the breakthrough. It could reach 200, well, at this point, 'tis a passing mark, child. Well, let's just call it a pass for now. Puha. Is this okay? Oh. That's great, isn't it, youngster? I don't know where you trained, but you are one hell of a gem. The bald man happily slapped me on the back. Anyway, this bench press. It's true that it easily quantified my current level, so it'll show if I've improved later on. I didn't even realize it until now, but I'm pretty strong. I had more strength than a guy who is bigger than me. The fact felt a little pleasant. 'Tis adequate. However, child, you gave a pretty good figure, but do not get swayed by it, alright? In the first place, bench press is simply a reference value, it does not equate to combat power. If the muscle mass is inflated unnecessarily, it could collapse the punching form and even become an obstacle. The supple muscle, which is your character, will become hard and your advantage will be lost. Is that so? 'Tis so. Therefore, the ideal is to train everything in a well-balanced and even manner. Even a punch is not solely dependent on the strength of the arm, but also strong legs and waist. Perhaps the people in this dojo simply do not understand. It's really a lot of work. Getting stronger. Such is the way of things. However, child, 'tis a great opportunity. Let us use other instruments, squats and running power may also be measured. 'Tis no good to be focused on numbers alone, but 'tis still very useful to visualize your physical abilities numerically. That way, you know what physical abilities are lacking, and on the other hand, where your strengths lie. And Trayanar gave me instructions as soon as I passed the test. Well, I was also interested in it, so I nodded and decided to give it a try. But see here, as the one master brought along, he's pretty impressive. Oh. He's no match for Machio, but he's talented. While complimenting me, people around me seem to imply that I'm below a certain person. His name has been coming up for a while, but is this guy that amazing? Well, as Trayanar said, if you don't think this bench press alone will determine your fighting power, it's nothing to worry about. Then I saw a piece of paper on the wall beside the bench press. The paper said, bench press all-time ranking on it, and at the top of it is. First place. Machio Protein. 500 power. It was my first bench press and I found out that I was stronger than most other people. I was feeling good about myself. But that numerical value felt like it was warning me, don't get cocky. Author's note: because the unit of this story and the unit of reality are not the same, 170 power is not bench press 170 kilograms. Therefore, please excuse the retort that the depiction of this power is strange at this level of bench press. S1, can't help but picture Alex Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. Chapter 95, On Top of the Top. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Translated by Sad07. No, oh, no, uhu. An insane load on the waist. Carrying a barbell and then lowering and lifting. Squats. Be sure to tighten the waist as well as the legs. Yes, they assume that magical squats are only for training the lower body, but in reality they stimulate not only the lower body, but also the hips, back, abdominal muscles, and even the arms. Most crucial, it trains your core as well. In other words, it strengthens the muscles of the entire body. Also, the lower body is not so vague, but the exact parts are the thigh muscles. Hamstrings, quadriceps, calf triceps, gluteus maximus, and so on. Moreover, this barbell on my neck, hurts. Get used to it, youngster. Guts. 'Tis a simply form. Keep your chest up and place the barbell your shoulders. On the top of the trapezius muscles, not your neck. Adjust the grip width and elbow angle a little more as well. While listening to Trainar's instructions, I'll try to do as much as I can. Whole body workout. Is indeed true. The stimulation of the lower body was quite tough, but normally stimulating the muscles of the whole body is also quite tough. Oh, magical squat, 230 power. No, that's a big one. Are you really a beginner? Impressive. Magical deadlift is also 210 power. No, he's a frightening lad. These also seem to have been good figures in their own right. Certainly, these figures are enough to place into the all-time rankings on the wall. But. Ha. Hey. This one in first place. They're all the same guy, but. What kind of monster is that? They all more than double mine. I think I'm getting a little stronger, but I'm not really proud of my strength. As Trayanar said, these figures are just for reference. Still, it's impossible not to be concerned with someone who was hitting numbers that are incomparable to mine. Machio is a bit of a substandard monster. That's right. Kakratail's most powerful warrior. With the exception of the master, he is the strongest man in the Arcane True Zenith school. The strongest of Arcane True Zenith style. Well, I guess that's the way it is when hammering out such ridiculous figures. Strongest. Though. In this country. Kakratail is an independent state that did not participate in the past war with the Demon King army. A guy like that was in such a country without making a name for himself. If you think about it. The strong yet unknown to the world. AKA as well. Bro is also of that group. So they exist. That is to say, outstanding hidden talents. Certainly, there were quite a few strong guys that the world did not know about. Trayanar was also muttering while looking at the ranking table on the wall with his arms folded. It seemed that, I've been in such a narrow world until now. Well. Anyway, do you want to measure your speed? However, since speed is measured outside, how about you measure your eyes first? As I was a little depressed, Old Man Kadega made the next suggestion to me. We measured my strength, so he said that the next measurement would be for the eyes. The eye. Is it like a medical checkup, some kind of vision test? Come on, this way. Come on, big brother, let's go. Keep it up, next. With that said, Kadega invited me to the back room on the first floor, as Karui and Ame pushed my back. If I already came this far, I might as well follow him. Then we were led to a room. There were rows of round projections embedded in the walls of the room. What in the world is this? What? You can even do magical vision training. This is magical vision training. Training with exactly the same name as what came out of Traynar's mouth as he exclaimed with excitement. Now, at this point, the details don't matter. As soon as the training starts, these buttons will flash randomly with magic. When you press it, another spot flashes. You do this as fast as possible to see how many times can be done in 15 seconds. It maximizes the field of view and trains peripheral vision, kinetic vision, eye movement, instantaneous vision, deep vision, as well as reflexes and concentration. It's a little different from magical speed reading. The buttons embedded in the wall flash one after another, and you have to press them quickly. Certainly, reflexes and concentration are also required. I see. Amusing. I had a bit of hope that I could get a good figure myself. My eyes should have been considerably trained by Traynar and the actual battles so far. In addition, my punching speed should allow me to press the button faster than the others. Oh, you're full of confidence. Well then, ready. Start. Sha. Release all the nerves and put everything into the next few seconds. Make sure the button flashes and then hit the button without pause. Yo, oh. Hands, so fast. Oh. Make full use of both hands and both eyes and hit with my full power. That's time. How is it? I didn't count myself in the middle of it. The movements of my hands were much faster than I could count in my head. And. See. 60 times. Oh, no way. See here, it's undisputed. Amazing. 60 times. What level is that? Ah. I'm pretty confident in this. Let's see, that was. I glanced around the room looking for you. No. What? It's the rankings. The first place in the ranking is 51 times. Dina Izut. Who's this? Where's that Machio guy? I hadn't noted any of the other names in the previous power rankings, so I didn't know anyone else. And the name of the guy called Machio wasn't there. Ah, Machio is no good at such small details. Simply, his power is so great that if he hit a button, the wall would break and we couldn't measure it. He what now? For the time being, I'm ranked number 1 in the current record. However, it seems that there are other circumstances involved as well. I mean, I'm honestly not happy about it. No, but this is amazing. Yeah, I don't think Machio can get much of a record with this kind of thing, can he? A maiden's mind is blunt. Well, even if the measurement could be done, it seemed that Machio and others are not good at this kind of thing. Then, this is my win, so I guess I'll take first place in the all-time. Step aside. Oh, Master. High Priestess. At that time, the High Priestess entrusted the scepter to Karui and prepared. And. Begin. She seemed motivated. What's going on all of a sudden? At the same time as I thought, I realized something. What? Those eyes. To use those. 'Tis foul play. The High Priestess suddenly revealed the crest that I had never seen before. For a moment, I thought it was a mistake, but they clearly emerged. And. What? The next moment, something incredible happened. The High Priestess did not move her neck or eyeball at all, moving only her hands and hitting the buttons from her initial position. Moreover, the moment the button lit up and the moment it was pressed are almost the same. I confirmed that the button flashed before pressing it, while the High Priestess hit it as if she knew which button would flash next. As a result. 62 times. Well, it's what I think. My record. Hold on, Master, you can finish it anyway. That's right, High Priestess. The High Priestess pulled out even though there were 5 seconds left. As a teacher, it doesn't matter how vast a figure I give. There is a limit to how much I can flaunt the difference in strength to my students and motivate them. The High Priestess told us that with a nonchalant air. It was such a shock that she shattered what I thought was my win. Well, but apart from the Master, your record is awesome. That's right. Your power and eyes are among the all-time highest. I was praised that way, but honestly, I wasn't happy. And at the same time, I'm reminded of the person I was just a few days ago. I was not able to defeat my childhood friend, I never got to the top of my class, and I was just a talented person. Next. What should I do next? There's no way I'm gonna lose. At that moment, I was crying out to let me do the next event as soon as possible. Haha, he's a stoic one. You're not satisfied with this at all. No way, so freaking amazing. Then, next is speed. I'll do anything. And even one is fine. I want to find something where I'm second to none. I've been saying, sooner or later, I was going to be a big shot in the world with enthusiasm. But if I can't even win a single record in a dojo in a country, in general, it'll be nothing more than big talk. Speed, oh, that's good. Let's do it. I am confident in my speed. Thanks to having learned many steps, I am able to perform sharp acceleration. Then, the speed measurement is outdoors, let's move outside. Oh. Next time, for sure. That's what I thought, but. By the way, Karui. Is it wise to be so carefree? Yes. What's going on? High Priestess, should thou not be in school by now? Ha. The moment we went outside, the High Priestess suddenly asked Karui, in a forced manner. Then Karui was a little dumbfounded, but soon her face turned blue. I forgot. So late. Karui, who had been flippant until a while ago, panicked, and was in a great hurry to get going. I am going. Immediately, she began running fast through the town. Running. Fufu, that Karui, in such a rush. To leave without changing into uniform. The High Priestess laughed dismissively, but. Hey, wait a minute. That little girl. Has good legs. What the hell, is that girl? Flying. Karui ran in a full dress. Her light feet jumped through the city, and the moment she saw the crowd, she jumped and climbed up to the roofs of the buildings and ran through while maintaining high speed. The run, which does not feel the effects of gravity, disappeared from sight. I've done magical parkour, I know what I'm talking about. That's not normal. That gait is much better than the usual ninja warriors. It's better than me. Oh, by the way. That girl, Karui. Though still a little lass. She's the fastest in Kakarotale. She was nicknamed Weightless Sprinter Karui. Now, the speed test. Nah, for now. I'm good. Fufu, that's fine. Well, either way, thou has passed. Use this place to train thyself as thou wish. To be clear, it's an overwhelming gait that I can see just by looking that it's much faster than I run. Maybe even faster than me using the breakthrough. It made me think that this is exactly what the unstoppable legs are. After being shown something like that, I didn't have the spirit to attempt the test while she snorted, take first place. Well, lad. I'm so sorry, but. Karui went ahead without a uniform and no textbook. Could thou bring them to the school? Why me? On the way, thou can take a tour of the city, right? Show him around. No, even if you say that. I haven't gotten over the shock yet, but the High Priestess suddenly asked me to be her errand boy. I'm told that I'll also be given a tour of the city, but I don't feel like it. On the contrary. Are you sure? Of what? I might immediately run away, right? Break through the barrier and stuff. You can't just give me free rein like that, right? I tried to ask. Then, as if the High Priestess had seen through everything. Fu, could you do it though? Nay, in the first place. If thou could escape as it is, why not do as thou would like? If you can break the barrier, then break it. Before that, if you don't mind running away with this test result, then run away. It sounded like she was saying that, and of course I had no choice but to accept that I couldn't just turn my tail and run away. Damn it. It's pathetic. And I'm ashamed of myself. I thought I was much stronger than before. Piggyback, goo, coo. Ah, geez. Okie dokie, Ame demands a piggyback ride from me, holding Karui's uniform and what seems to be a bag in both hands. Despite my frustration, I carried Ame on my back, and now I have no choice but to do as I was told. Watching over me even now, as I harbor these thoughts in my heart. So. Once again. I entrust myself in your care. Master. Naturally. At the thoughts I muttered in my heart, my reliable master nodded. Chapter 96, Goals to Aim for. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Translated by Sad07. Compared to the imperial capital, the scale of the city-scape was still incomparable, but even though it was a secluded nation with no interaction with other countries, Kakratale was sufficiently developed. The area that seemed to be the center of the city is like a market, with many stalls like Cantadon, and it had been prosperous since morning. What, it's so peaceful, was there a civil war? No one seemed to be facing much hardship in their lives, and the peaceful citizens were laughing and lively. Oh. Good morning, Ame. Who is that? Ame's boyfriend. Brother, if you make Ame cry, I'll never forgive you. Look, my proud apples. Have some. At first I tried to run and chase after Karui, but I wasn't likely to catch up and I couldn't run through the crowds in the market, so I slowed down a little bit, being careful of my surroundings. I seemed to stand out with Ame on my back, and various people called out to me. Oh, thank you. In addition, as an offering, 2 apples were thrown at me by a strange old man, and I caught them, gave one to Ame, and ran while I bit into the other. You're popular, too. I heard it was a secluded country, so at first I thought there would be a lot of gloomy people out there, but that's not the case. Is it completely peaceful now? Well, you don't know what I'm talking about, hey, are there any other amazing people besides the High Priestess, Karui, and Machio? Yun, she doesn't seem to have the same sense of dislike that she did when we first met, but this Ame kid was so emotionless that we can't hold a conversation. Besides, maybe because she's still a young child, I don't think she really understands her own country or the strength of the people around her. Well, that's right. Goddess. Ha. The goddess, amazing. A goddess. At that time, Ame suddenly whispered in my ear. Goddess. A goddess, the most mysterious thing after the High Priestess. Is that actually real? That person. But. That High Priestess, called Traenar a god. But she doesn't look like a demon. She doesn't look human either. Well, I didn't hear anything about that. In the first place, who is that High Priestess? And what are you up to? Surely, what are you planning? Jamdiel, besides, I am a tad concerned about the goddess, but, certainly not, did she? Traenar nodded in agreement to my concerns. Rather, I've been wanting to hear your opinion, but you were so excited about the training equipment, so I didn't. Ha. Jamdiel. Didn't Trayanar just say something outrageous? Somehow, it's a name I've often seen in textbooks and newspapers. Wow, such a coincidence. Buhan, that high priestess' real name is Jamdiel. One of the six supremacy and great demon generals, pride of the Demon King's army, who once went on a rampage in the world under the moniker of the Dark Valkyrie. No, 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 it's some mistake, isn't it? Because the former boss himself said so. That's right, they say the Allied forces were still looking for her. Oh, I see. That's why, the statue of Trayanar. Then, you couldn't tell me year. I suddenly shouted loudly, and both the townspeople and Amei gave me a surprised look. But it's impossible for me not to make a fuss. Really? You're not messing with me. Right. Tis true. Hey, then that's not good for me. Because I'm the son of a hero, indeed. However, she is most likely aware, and it appears to me she acknowledges and accepts it. Why though? Maybe, I'm being held hostage. No, that will not be the case, just. Surely, she is trying to make you stronger and use you for some purpose. That's why I'm so scared. What is with you? I don't get why you're so calm. The other party is one of the Demon King's six supremacy. Wrong, also, I am the great Demon King. I see, Yeah, you got me there. Tis so, fuhahahaha. Right, hey. One of the legendary six supremacy. Hiding out in a secluded nation. Moreover, refers to herself as the High Priestess. However, I am not so at ease. Because she was a former vassal, a companion, and one of my six arms. I am deeply moved, really. Though halfway, you were so excited after seeing the bench press and stuff. Nah, I was not so buoyant. No, you were. He had a lot of nostalgia and feelings about his old comrade. In arms. I don't know, but no matter who sees Trayanar as he is now. In any case, 'tis not that I do not think about such matters. Simply. I just believe there is no helping the way things are. Why is that? She's a former subordinate of yours, right? Certainly. And while Jamdiel was undoubtedly a superb commander, on the other hand, except for warfare, there were times when her thought process was beyond comprehension even by my omniscience. In other words, 'tis a loss to take it seriously. A former subordinate, or a close associate in his inner circle. And yet, he could not understand her thinking, or something like that. Well, all will be revealed soon enough. Indeed, that one lacks proper communication skills, is what was once said. Hey, that's a pretty awful thing to say about your ex-subordinate, but even so, or rather, she will do you no harm in the coming 3 months. Even if her thoughts are incomprehensible, 'tis not meaningless. To go through the trouble to abduct you and the provide for you over a 3-month period, she will protect you. Is that so? Buhan, so focus on your training for now, rather than thinking on it. Well, strong words from Trayanar as I was confused and flustered. Yes, in a way, can I even get the answers to my worries when Trayanar can't figure out at this point? That's how it is. In such a situation, isn't there more to be done than that? And, that's what came across. Yeah. Well, I lost to a supremacy in the eye test, which I think is unfair, but I lost overwhelmingly to other guys in terms of power and speed. 'Tis so, but on the other hand, right. I don't know why one of the six supremacy was involved in this country and teaching many other things, but at least some of those she taught were overwhelmingly better than me in their respective fields. If you have time to worry about the mess going on in your life, you should work on your growth first since you have trouble understanding things. Alright. Anyway, I'm messing up my strength training. Someday, that Machio guy, I will surpass him. Ah. But 'tis impossible. Such a calm retort suddenly crushed my thoughts as I pledged a new resolve. Muscle training has limitations. There are various factors such as genetics, skeletal and physical structure, race, and so on, but the limits of the person are determined from the onset. No, that means, child, you still have room to grow, but no matter how much muscle training you do in the future, 'tis forever impossible to surpass aka and this Machio in terms of raw power. Wh. Tsu. By the way, your speed does not even approach the full body spring like run of that Karui. In other words, in terms of pure speed, 'tis impossible for you to surpass that Karui. Furthermore, Jamdiel's eyes are, among the three great magic eyes, called the heraldic eye. In addition to its various abilities, the basic eye performance is the highest among all living things in the world, regardless of the surface world or the demon realm. With only normal eyes, you had no chance from the start. Hearing his speech, I'm reminded of that moment. The day I first became Trainar's disciple. Until then, when I was a magic swordsman and he asserted that I didn't have the talent for it, he was saying the same thing now. I don't have the magic and power of my father. That's why it wasn't suitable for me. Back then, you complimented me on my supple muscles and spring-like body. 'Tis far superior than others. However, in the world, there exists an upper level in the field of one's strengths, so I heard. As I may have mentioned, a force that cannot be exceeded through effort, that is talent, same as magic capacity and magic emission, one born with a higher limit than others. We call that a genius. I after all, never thought that my current self would be the strongest person in the world. However, if I continued to receive Trainar's guidance, it would be the case for my someday self. There was the expectation I had. However, there are still walls that cannot be overcome. Well then. How can I grow in the future? What should I work on? A world where effort can't help. I never thought I'd be told something so shocking while I was piggybacking a little girl. You, okay? On my back, Ame asked me with a curious expression. But now I couldn't respond at the moment. Because if what Trainar said was true, what should I do from now on? However, from the previous battles in the ranking table, while you cannot beat aka and Macho in power, at this point, you are already winning in terms of speed. Ha. On the other hand, the Karui girl is certainly first class in speed, but when it comes to power, you are far superior. Even Jamdiel, in terms of pure power, cannot contend with you. That seems right, but, so it was back in your home, was it not? That second sword saint surpassed you in swordsmanship, but you overwhelmed him. You did not fight directly, but you would not lose to the son of that great mage in close combat either. Do you know why that is? Trainar pushed me to the limit while asking me. There are people who have more power, speed, swordsmanship, and magic than me, so I can't be at the top in those fields. However, he also said that there are areas where I am better than they were. What exactly does it mean? That is, even if you cannot win in one field, with the overall score. In other words, with the sum of your strengths, you can win. Oh, overall, 'tis so. In the Imperial City, you may not have been able to defeat the princess in overall performance, but that was simply the matter of the school records. As you are now, your fighting power is more than enough to surpass that girl. Yes, maybe, but, therefore, what you should do from now on, rather than intensively training one thing, train all fields in a well-balanced manner. This was clearly evident in the max measurement. We did not measure the speed, but I can predict the approximate figures based on my life so far. As far as can be seen numerically, you have no weaknesses. Instead of making a field or specialty that no one else could match, train everything. That was Trainar's guiding policy. But that was a little too subtle to me. In short, doesn't it speak badly of me? As a jack of all trade, master of none. I have been told since my childhood. I'm better than others to a point. But, to put it bluntly, I'm a jack of all trade and master of none. That's because to me it was a curse that I had been told since I was a kid. However, for me, Traenar. Why would that bode ill for you? There is no ill to speak of, if anything you may impudently say you are an all-rounder, could you not? An all-rounder, not a jack of all trade. It was the first time I've ever heard someone say that. You are a little mistaken. A jack of all trades is by no means a demerit. You have no special talent. But that does not mean you are inferior. That is to say, there is no flaw that seems to be a weak point. And there is no greater nuisance in combat than the absence of a weakness. Because, compared to the fellow with only one talent, there is no, if you can just deal with it, you will be able to manage somehow, scenario, and there is no strategy. No weaknesses, no strategies. Come to think of it, I had nothing I was second to none in, but on the other hand, there wasn't anything that I wasn't good at. If a broad and shallow term like jack of all trades still concerns you, consider this. What you are aiming for is, to learn everything extensively and intimately. To have dexterous affluence. And I call those who show prominence in a single talent specialists, and those who excel in everything, generalists. From a serious-looking Traenar, the words dexterous affluence and generalist came out for the first time. It was funny, but I didn't quite get it right away. Dexterous affluence. Generalist, hey. All-rounders who can do everything, it's not easy to do. Why? Because I can't imagine it. I don't have an example that I could use as a goal. I was called an all-rounder, yet I didn't have anyone in mind to use as a model or a goal. The princess. However, as Traenar said, I don't see myself losing to the princess in terms of combat power. Then Sodai's. Certainly, Sodai's may be the most versatile. But, unfortunately, I don't know Sodai's true fighting capability. So even if I set a goal, I don't know how good it would be. And then. Traenar laughed loudly at my words. Did I say something so funny? When I think about it, Traenar is. Child. You are a tad heartless, are you not? Have you forgotten what you should aim for? The world's best all-rounder. Who knows you well, Well, are you serious? What? Who are you talking about? For a moment, I didn't really understand. But Traenar smiled. Who is it? Who else, but the one that is always with you? Ah, that's right, he was in front of me. Do you want me to say it myself? Because I didn't even notice this sooner, I was laughing out loud. That's right. I was getting guidance from the guy I should be aiming for. Hey, again, you, okay. What? Oh, scary, I'm sorry, Ame was a little frightened by my sudden burst of laughter. Well, I hope you'll forgive me for this one. Anne. But, we've arrived. Here, school. While saying that, Ame was patting my head. I was talking a lot, so before I knew it, I had already reached the front of this country's magic school. It was a big school building and the playground attached to it was beautiful with a well-maintained lawn. And I was still unaware of the future and my newfound determination. I've interacted with academy and magic school students from other countries, but this was the first time I've ever set foot in a school in another country.